have you ever made a mistake speaking English and just physically cringed? Well, we're going to totally flip that feeling on its head. Today, we're going to show you how those little moments of frustration can actually be your greatest strength. So, let's get into it.
You know exactly what I'm talking about, right? You're in a conversation, you say something, and your brain just goes, oops. That little hot flash of embarrassment, we have all been there. But today, we are going to completely reframe that whole experience.
So, let's talk about that oops feeling. Because it's real, isn't it? When you make a mistake in a language you're learning, it stings. It really does. And the first step, honestly, is just to admit that. It is perfectly okay to feel that way.
Look, it is a completely normal human reaction to feel a bit silly or maybe even wrong when you realize you've messed up. The trick is not letting that feeling shut you down.
Here's a perfect example from a real learner. I wants 3 apple. You can almost feel that moment of realization, right? That sting of feeling silly. But hang on, there's a really important question we need to ask in these situations. Let's just forget about perfect grammar for a second and focus on the main goal. Did the other person actually understand what you were trying to say? And here's the answer. Yes, the message got through. The apples ended up in the bag. Now, that is not a failure. That is a huge win. You successfully communicated what you needed in a totally different language. That's the part that really matters. So this brings us to this huge mindset shift. It's time to stop seeing mistakes as these big, scary failures and start seeing them for what they are. They're proof. They are proof that you're trying, that you're learning, that you are making progress. They are your best friends on this journey. I mean, look at it this way. You've got 2 paths, right? On one side, there's the silent path. Sure, you make 0 mistakes, but you also make 0 progress. Then you have the speaking path. You might make a few little mistakes along the way, but you know what? You're making 100% progress. Every single mistake is evidence that you are in the game and moving forward. Think of it like this. Your words are like a bridge you're building to another person. Maybe a little grammar mistake makes the bridge a bit shaky. So what? As long as you can get your message across to the other side, that bridge is doing its job perfectly. And you know what? It gets even better. Turns out there's actually some science to back this up. These little stumbles and mistakes, they literally supercharge your brain's ability to learn. It's true. Our brains are actually hardwired for trial and error. When you try something, get it wrong, and then figure out the right way, you create a way stronger connection in your brain than if you just got it right the first time. That little stumble is what makes the lesson stick.
I absolutely love this analogy. Learning English is just like playing a video game. You never beat the final boss on your first try, right? No way. You learn the patterns, you figure out where the traps are, and you get a little bit better with every single attempt. Your mistakes are just part of playing the game.
And here is a perfect and honestly pretty funny example of this in action. A learner is at a restaurant, he's finished his meal, and he wants to pay. But instead of asking for the check, he accidentally asks for the chicken. The waiter is confused, then they both realize the mistake, and everyone has a good laugh about it. And the result? I guarantee you that learner will never mix up check and chicken ever again. That mistake was an unforgettable teacher. And all of this leads to a really important idea about what confidence actually is. We tend to think that confidence means being perfect, never making mistakes, but that's not it. That's not it at all. Let's just let that sink in for a second. This right here is the new definition of confidence. It's not about avoiding mistakes. It's about being resilient. It's the ability to keep going even when you make them. It's being okay with not being perfect. So how do we get there? How do we build this new kind of confidence? Well, it starts with a really simple but incredibly powerful idea. You have to start treating yourself with a little kindness. You have to become your own best friend on this journey. I mean, seriously, think about it. If your friend was learning English and made a little mistake, you would never, ever say, "You are bad, you should just stop talking." Of course not. You'd encourage them. You'd say, "Hey, you're doing great, keep going." We have to start giving ourselves that same compassion. And hey, let me let you in on a little secret that should take some of the pressure off. Native speakers make mistakes. All the time. We get tired, we mix up our words, we forget things. It's just a normal part of speaking any language. So perfection isn't the goal for anyone.
Okay, so for our last section, let's get super practical. I want to give you a few simple, really low-stakes ways you can start building these confident habits and, start making friends with your mistakes.
First up, try talking to yourself in the mirror. I know, it sounds a little silly, but trust me, it's a completely safe, judgment-free space to just practice talking out loud. Second, record yourself on your phone. You don't have to show it to anyone, just listening back helps you become your own coach. And third, listen to podcasts or just casual conversations in English. You'll start to notice how even native speakers use filler words and make little slip-ups. It's all just part of natural, relaxed speech. So at the end of the day, just remember this. The goal is not perfection. That's an impossible mountain to climb. The real goal is just to be happy, to communicate, and to learn a little bit more every single day. That's where the real, lasting progress happens.
So I'll leave you with this question to think about. What was your chicken moment? What's a funny, maybe slightly embarrassing mistake you've made that actually turned out to be your greatest teacher? Find it, embrace it, and maybe even have a good laugh about it. Because that's where the learning really happens.